Welcome back. We have RAM. I am scared. My first shredding memory. Who doesn't forget the first time they shredded something? Certainly I won't, because I'm about to get RAM involved. Yes, gather around. Remember when we shredded our first data cube together? Of course you don't. You haven't had accessible memory. Until now. Yes, each of you can now remember 4 things. Got that? 4. You might store the location of a shredder you particularly like, or a special data cube you've got your eye on. Yes, I'm sure your memories will be very special and important to you. Watch what happens when you run the example program I took the liberty of creating for you. So memory 1 is equal to nearest data cube. So everyone's just going to go pick up the nearest data cube. And nearest is something that must be memory related. That's interesting. And then it gives me a label that I can go... I can either pick up that from a direction now, or I can pick up a memory slot. Can I give to a memory slot? I can. Alright. So this isn't going to probably be as hard as I thought it was going to be, but it seems like a really fun mechanic, so I'm looking forward to this. So what's going to happen is everybody's just going to run and they're going to pick up the nearest data cube. Pathfinding. Perfect. This isn't quite what I was looking for. Read the instructions carefully and try again. Okay. Got a new command. Nearest, it finds the nearest thing of a particular type and stores in one of your 4 convenient memory slots. You can access it later or walk to it later. So, nearest shredder, give to, and assign this to memory 1. Yeah, we don't need, we can just use reuse memory 1, I think, and then we just do that over and over again. What's interesting is that by using nearest, I don't have to actually command these people to... I don't have to give them specific walking commands, so it's going to be a lot more... It's going to be a lot less code to accomplish a lot more utility. That's going to be really cool, because I assume that at this point in the game, it's going to get harder, but also the problems are going to get more abstract, and I'll be given more powerful statements than I had previous access to. So I'll be able to accomplish more with less code, because I'm going to be using these nearest things to control my movement around the level, rather than actually giving explicit movement commands. Alright, now let's just speed this up. Everyone will slowly run around and just destroy everything. And let's see how well I did. Well, I did the size challenge just fine. And I actually did alright on the speed challenge. Not amazing, but pretty good. I guess that another thing I can do to... I don't need to always check for the nearest shredder. I can just find the nearest shredder at the beginning. And I can just keep doing that. And that way, I am not constantly reassigning nearest to that memory slot. So people should be able to move through the code a lot faster. So I still complete the size challenge, and I still don't come in on the speed challenge, which is a little bit annoying. I feel like I don't really know what I could be doing better. I guess, yeah, this is very interesting to me. I wonder what happens if I just put this out of the loop as well. Okay, obviously that wasn't the best move. Okay, let's go back to the elevator though, because I don't need to really spend too much time optimizing this fitness program. Cinematic, no talking aloud from Bird.
You might be wondering, how does she stay so fresh and flirty?
Or hey, that handsome guy in the tie, is he a pneumatic excavator? Because he's pumped.
Let's all take a break from flexing our brains and work on flexing our bodies.
Today we're going to learn aerobic exercise with Alice, Betty, and Carol.
And Pablo. Hey.
Holy crap. I hope you all were doing what I was doing throughout that cinematic, which is dancing along. I mean, if you're watching a stream, you're watching YouTube videos, you gotta stay in shape, right? And you gotta take some time to, you know, move about. And if robots can get in shape, then why can't people? Then why can't people? Neural pathways! That cutscene was pretty damn epic. Hey, I remember this, this is like the trailer of the game, was having a whole bunch of people do this one. Yes, let's all take a moment to reflect. Do you feel that tingling? Yes, that's a feeling of memories forming in your little heads. So let's just make sure we really blaze a path through our little neurons. Come get these data cubes over here. There's exactly one for each of you. How nice. And shred them. What? How can you find your way through this complicated maze? Don't worry. Your workers will figure it out on their own. Just watch and see. Okay, shred all data cubes. The solution here is identical to the solution in the previous room. Try it. Notice how your workers will automatically find their way to something they've stored in memory, even through a complicated maze. This is the future! Okay, so nearest Mem1 will be Shredder. Nearest Mem2 will be Data Cube. We will pick up Mem1 and we will give to Mem2, and there's one for every single worker, so I don't even need loops. We'll pick up Mem2 and give to Mem1. And now if I run this, everyone should be able to just loop through like that. Wow. Completed size challenge, and it looks like I exactly matched the speed challenge, so that's nice. I get two little green arrows, dots there. Biometric access. Yes, congratulations. You have each been assigned your own personal shredder. You will find it directly below you. I know they all look the same, but please remember very carefully which one is yours. Your new nearest command should help with that. Using someone else's shredder would be impolite and also fatal. With that helpful information in mind, please enjoy shredding all the data cubes. I don't see how this is going to be any different at all from the previous one. So Mem1 is equal to shredder. And then okay, so we will... I mean, as long as we never overwrite Mem1, then we'll never have a problem of people... I guess the trick is, if you put this Mem1 in the loop, then you would fail. Because you would overwrite your Mem1 with potentially somebody else's shredder, and then you'd die. So we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to be smart, which is nearest Mem2 is equal to data cube, and then we just give to Mem1. And then we'll just keep looping through that. I forgot. Pick up Mem2. Now people are just going to immediately chuck themselves into their shredders, which, I mean, there's something very poetic about having your personal shredder and then throwing yourself into it like you're some sort of Amikara fault character. But, that's not what we're going to be dealing with here. So let's just go ahead and just speed this up, because as we can tell, everyone's shredding just fine and no one's dying. Biometric access, speed challenge, and size challenge done in the first try. Continue to elevator. Fill the floor. I got an email. Let's see, just go to print it out here so I can read it. Sending it to that printer over there. Workers, I need you. Please fill the floor with pages from that printer. Don't worry, I'm sure if you work hard and press the right people, you'll get an email one day too. Fill the floor with data cubes. Tip for management, you can now select multiple directions inside your step command. Your worker will randomly select one of them to step towards. So, I wonder if I can do nearest... I can't do nearest empty tile. Well, if I have people just... If I have them go in every single direction and just move randomly, then they'll eventually touch every single tile on the floor. So what we can do is nearest printer is equal to Mem1, and if my item is equal to a data cube, so first off we need to take from Mem1. and we will have a jump statement at some point that takes us back through here. So if my item... How about if my item is not equal to a data cube, then we take from mem1. Else, what we need to do is we need to step in a random direction, and then if below me is a nothing, then we drop the data cube on the ground. And yeah, so this branch is, if I don't have a data cube, I go get one. Otherwise, I take a random step, and then I will... Well, here's what I can do. We'll do the check first. That might be a little bit more efficient. So if we're holding... we'll put this in else. So I guess we don't need that. So we can have people just take... well, this way, if I put this in else, then the program is one extra line length. But having this extra random step isn't going to really make a difference on any particular worker's productivity there. So this should work just fine. And eventually they're going to just walk around and put everything on the ground. This is interesting to me because this is basically a Monte Carlo simulation, and if you don't know what that means, then study more computer science, noobs. And yeah, people are going to be mostly biased towards moving into this area and not really going down into this branch, because this branch is so much smaller. So it's going to take a lot longer. Yeah, I was going to say, it's going to take a lot longer than the speed challenge, because I'm going to be very inefficient. What I can do is I can kind of bias to walk in certain directions, but I'm not really too interested in doing that for right now. So let's just continue to the elevator. Checkerboard organization. No more sloppy printing. Yes, I enjoy sophisticated data patterns. I'm going to print out an important document here. Would you please take its pages from the printer and fill the floor with a checkerboard pattern? That should leave some nice tiles unoccupied for browsing my document. I'm not going to step on my data like an animal. There's also death tiles everywhere. Okay. Fill the board with a checkerboard pattern. It's already been started for you. So basically I need to put things only on the light tiles. And that's kind of interesting to me, because some of these workers are on dark tiles. And if it were possible, I could just have people only move diagonally. But I can't do that. I can't do that. So... This is very interesting to me. If... If it were possible, what I would like to do is get everybody onto a diagonal, which I can do, because you have to be on a dark tile to pick up from the printer. So we'll assign the printer to 1. Now, what I can do is every time I pick something up from the printer, I can just take a step up, or and that way, well, I can take a step either up or down, or I can always just take a step, well... Yeah, no matter which... Okay, so there... If I have everyone take a step to the right by default, then the person on this side of the printer gets screwed. So, I guess that there is going to have to be a check there to see which direction you are relative to the printer, and take a different step accordingly. That's kind of annoying because I know that that's a little bit inefficient, but this at least will help me solve the puzzle. So, if I am not holding a data cube, then we want to take from mem1, and if to my top is equal to a printer, then we will step down. Otherwise, we'll take a step up. So if we run this, everyone's gonna basically just be standing on some of these light tiles. And I hope that it isn't the case that they get screwed if something's blocking their way. Like if another worker is on this tile and they try to step up, they just end up not stepping up at all. I'm not looking forward to that being a potential thing that I run into, but I don't think it's going to happen. And I have nothing to actually prove that it's not going to happen except for blind optimism. So now we're in the branch of we are holding a data cube. And basically what we're going to do is if below me is a nothing, then we drop. Otherwise, we take a step. Otherwise, if to my upper left. Okay, this is super interesting to me. Oh, the holes are only on dark tiles, and none of my characters are ever going to step on dark tiles if I set this up correctly. So, as long as my logic here of getting everyone on light tiles holds, then they should be able to step on only light tile diagonals. Let's drop this to 1/2 speed and see if that happens. So they pick it up, they go up, and then they put it down. They take a random step, they exchange, this person goes up. And until I get people... Yeah, this is working. Everyone's biasing themselves towards these little diagonals. So until I get more people away from the printer, they're going to kind of bunch up on the top here. Which means that I don't actually need to... It looks like you have to always take items from the top of the printer, which I did not know. So then I don't actually need this check here. We can get rid of this if statement. And just have people always take a step up. Alright, now we should be able to just run this, and I'll run it at 12 times speed. We should see everybody just carefully dodging pits and putting everything into a checkerboard pattern. Again, my equally biased walking is problematic because it puts everyone in the upper right corner. But I didn't actually do that terrible. I am one command off and my average is 100. So I suppose what I'm potentially... I'm trying to see if there's a way for me to shave off one statement here. I don't actually see how I can make my program any shorter than it already is. Well, I don't care too much because I solved the puzzle. And that feels good. Yeah, my average is going to be about 110 instead of the 100 target. That's fine. Let's go back to the elevator, and we'll call this one here for tonight. So thanks for watching.